Hello and welcome to Web Programming Lab Exercises. In this session, we are going to see the term work number 7, where we are implementing the drag and drop feature using HTML5 and jQuery. So in this case, we are trying to drag an HTML element from a particular position and trying to drop it at a particular position. So this can be done using JavaScript, where we are allowing the HTML element to be dragged, and once it is dropped, it gets placed into the exact position where it was dropped. So now let us go to the code and see how this works. So here we go. This is the code. So as usual, we have the doc type HTML, which indicates the type of the HTML document. Then we have the HTML tag, and then we have the head tag, where we have written the style as well as script for doing this drag and drop activity. Before seeing this part of the code, let us go down and see the body of the HTML page, where we have written two different divisions in which we have defined an HTML element which we are trying to drag and drop. So here we have the h2, which is drag and drop, and we have the paragraph, which is some information. Drag the image back and forth between the two division elements. Now we have a division with an ID called as div1, and we also have an attribute called as onDrop. So on dropping up an element into this particular division, this will call a JavaScript function called as drop event. And there is one more attribute called as onDragOver, which will call one more JavaScript function, which is allowDrop event. Okay. So once the dragged element is taken over this particular division, then this JavaScript function gets called. So in this division, I have an image with the img tag and some source. I have given a GIF image, and I am setting up the draggable attribute to be equal to true, which indicates that this HTML element can be dragged. This is an HTML5 attribute which allows you to drag the element. And once the element is started with the drag event, then this attribute will start working. So it says on drag start. Once it is dragged, this drag event JavaScript function gets called. Okay. So along with this, we also have an ID for this, that is drag1, and we have specified some width and height for this particular image. Okay. Now, after this, we have one more division with an ID called as div2, and on drop, we again call the same drop event function, and we also have one more attribute called as onDragOver. We call the allowDrop event function. So in this case, we can drag and drop the image that we have defined here between these two different divisions. Okay, that's why we have defined onDrop and onDragOver in both of these divisions, so that we can drop the image back and forth between these two different division elements. Okay. Now let us go upwards and understand the CSS and JavaScript that we have written. So here it is. So I have the style, and for hash div1 and hash div2, it means I'm trying to apply these CSS rules for division. I mean the HTML element with an ID called as division1 as well as division2. So for these two divisions. So we are setting it to be available at the left of the web browser. That's why float left, and we are setting up the width to equal to 100 pixels, and we have the height to equal to 85 pixels, and we are setting up the margin to equal to 10 pixels, and we have made the padding as 10 pixels so that the distance between the content of the division and its border is 10 pixels. And then we are setting up the border to be equal to of size 1 pixels with a solid nature, and its color is black. So this is a simple CSS that we have defined here. You can play around with this by changing these values. Okay. Now after this style, we have the script section where we have written 3 different JavaScript functions that we had seen in the HTML part using the attributes. Now the first function here is the allow drop. So this function gets called whenever we drag over an element into another HTML element. So in this case we have this EV as the parameter, so it says ev.preventDefault. So here in this case, preventDefault method is used for cancellation of an event. So this will cancel the event if it is cancelable. It does mean that the default action that belongs to an event will not occur. As simple as that. It does actually mean that whenever we are trying to drop an HTML element into an area, it will check whether it is allowing the drop functionality or not. So that's why we have used this prevent default function, which will prevent the default action that is belonging to an event. Okay. Now after this we have one more function, that is drag. So in this drag function, what we are trying to do here is we will make use of the parameter that is EV, that is event dot data transfer dot set data. So here in this case, data transfer dot set data method sets the drag operations of the drag data. So whatever the data that we would like to drag and drop somewhere is being picked up with the help of this set data. Okay, this will set the drag operations, drag data, to the specified data and type. This takes up 2 arguments, that is the format and this is the data. Okay, so the first parameter indicates the format, second format indicates the data. So format can be the type of the drag data which will be added to the drag object, and second parameter is the data, the actual data that we would like to add it to the drag object. That is nothing but ev.target.id. So with the help of id, we are trying to get the content from the division and start moving it around, and we'll try to drop it. This is the actual data that we would like to drop. Now coming to the drop function, so we have again the prevent default function, which will certainly cancel the default action that is being performed, and then we have a variable being created in JavaScript called as data, and we are storing something called as ev.datatransfer.getData text. So in the earlier case we had dragged, where we have set the HTML element to be dragged, and now we are getting that particular data with the help of getData method. Okay, so basically data transfer.getData method retrieves the drag data. This is the main task of getData method, which will retrieve the drag data with the help of this data transfer event. and that too of specified type. So that gets stored in the data variable. So here it was initially set, now it was retrieved using the get data. And now what we should do, we should be able to add it to the division where it was dropped. So that's why ev.target.append child. So append child is one more JavaScript function which will add, or you can say append, a node as the last child of a node, which means that it will add the element, the HTML element, towards the end of the set of elements that the HTML element already has. Let us say, for example, if you have a list of students, if I want to add one more student name at the end, then I can use this append child method to add a student name at the end of the list. Okay, it does mean that the li HTML element gets added up at the end of the set of list elements. Okay, so basically it will add at the end of the list. Okay, so ev.target.append child, in that we are passing up this value, that is document.getElementById data. Okay, so this data is nothing but the dragged data, and we are trying to get the HTML element where it needs to be dropped with the help of this document.getElementById, and then we will try to append it wherever it is targeted. Okay, so in this way we can try to drag and drop an HTML element into a specified area. Okay, now let us go to the browser and check how this can be run. Okay, so this is it. So we have an H2 here, that is drag and drop, and we are given a message saying that drag the image back and forth between the two division elements. Okay, so in the first division I have an image which is a table, okay, a GIF table. Now I will move my cursor onto this and I'll click and I'll start moving my mouse, and once I come to the other division, now it becomes droppable. Okay, the allow drop function gets called now. Now if I release my button, it gets dropped here. So in this way I can drag any HTML element and I can drop it at any specified position. The similar task I can do it in the reverse fashion. Again I can drag this element and I can move it to the previous division. Now again it becomes droppable, that is allow drop function gets called, and if I release the key of the mouse, it gets dropped. Okay, so in this way we can implement the drag and drop feature using HTML and JavaScript, or in fact jQuery. Thank you.